Welcome to the Making of YOR, a podcast where we turn ideas into game mechanics for our upcoming tabletop RPG, YOR. If you'd like to stay up to date on the developments of YOR, head over to our Discord. Link is in the description. And we are back. Again.
Howdy, everybody.
For the 28th time.
My God, that's basically 30.
Yeah, it is. So I think we left off with monsters, and in between recording, we made a big list of monsters as well as some other things. So we'll try and just build out some monsters this session.
Heck yeah, we made a big old list of stuff that needs stats.
Yep. So we'll start with the baby dragon.
Oh, baby dragon. It's definitely got the sorcerer breath weapon thing.
Okay. Strong fly speed.
Yeah, strong fly speed.
How much HP?
25?
Okay. So I've been thinking about something.
Yeah.
We talked about simplifying speed in past sessions where like you have a speed and then when you gain a new speed in like a climb or
It's all
whatever,
that fast.
it's all that same speed.
Yeah.
I think we should say it works that way.
Yeah.
Unless, so like specific trumps general.
Yeah.
Unless like a speed you have specifically says it's a different speed.
Okay.
And the only reason I say that is because there are a few creatures we've made that we weren't really sure how to address, like a bird. Like it has to have a fast fly speed, but obviously it can't run that fast if it's on the ground. And so I think we should just say, well, this is general rule.
And then specific trumps general.
Yeah. And so like a bird might have a speed of like 5 or 10 and then a fly speed of 100 or something, like that. And because I feel like that probably applies better for players and a little worse for creatures.
Yeah.
To have like a generic speed.
Yeah, your speed is the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, we may. I think that'll probably be fine.
Because I feel like baby dragon probably has a speed of 30.
Yeah.
If it's on the ground. But a much faster fly speed than that.
Yeah, probably ground speed 30, fly speed 90.
Sure. Okay, 25 HP, speed 30, strong fly speed 90. And then it has a breath attack that is target and all adjacent except the caster. Take 2d8 damage of dragon type, range 10 feet. So you can target someone who's 10 feet away.
Yep.
You can target someone who's 5 feet away. If you target someone who's 5 feet away, everyone adjacent gets the damage except you. And you're like, well, why don't you just make a cone? Because this is a cone and it's just easier.
Yep.
It's a little harder to like say, but mechanically, it's
without
more
5 foot
straightforward.
Squares being integral to the game.
Yeah,
a cone is hard to
exactly, and rather than
represent.
defining areas that are then covered by cones or shapes, we just say you target a spot.
Yep.
That square,
Here.
and then all the squares adjacent to it are affected, and that is really easy to keep straight in Theater of the Mind.
Yep.
It needs probably a tail attack and a bite, maybe, or claws, or well, but since it's a baby, it doesn't necessarily need a tail attack.
Yeah.
But
I
it still
thinking
should have
bite
something
for a baby.
Yeah, it should have something other than just a breath weapon,
like a 6 damage bite.
Okay. How much resource do you think for its attack?
Probably 2 points.
Just like the sorcerer?
Yeah.
It'd be a great way to make the higher level dragons.
Yeah.
You know, we talked about this and we ended up not implementing it because we liked our resource system and we knew it could be used universally. But man, if there's a thing that I do like about creatures in D&D, it's the D6 recharge.
Oh, yeah.
Of abilities. I always thought that was fun.
Yeah.
I don't think it implements well in our game.
Yeah.
But
I think I'd rather do it more like Games Workshop 40K Warhammer does it. But I think like recharge on like a 6-up or a 4-up or something
Mm-hmm.
Like you know, I'm not opposed to giving a monster a 6-up invuln save.
Yeah, I don't like implementing a mechanic that we don't plan on using regularly.
Yeah.
That's my big thing. If we have
But I
something,
think stuff for like bosses would be great. I think a boss ability that like put all boss abilities on like a D6 recharge.
like as a post save, so like if they fail the save, they still get like roll a D6 to potentially be. Oh, I guess it wouldn't be saved because it'd be damage stuff
Yeah, it'd be to damage.
against damage.
Yeah, it's not a body save to ignore it.
Yeah,
It's like, you know, like a phantom soldier or whatever. That's
Whenever
tier 3 or whatever. It'd have like it's out of phase 1/6 of the time.
man. Okay. Yeah, I do like that. We need to come up with ways that we can use things like that.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what that'll look like, but I do like it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It is a little different than the like what I was talking about, but that actually could fit in our game.
Yeah.
Where what I'm talking about, it just doesn't.
Yeah, it's recharging a breath weapon on.
Yeah, it just doesn't fit.
Yeah.
Resource works in our game on so many levels
Yeah.
that one kind of out of the blue mechanic
recharge
is
thing.
not good. But yes, I'm going to throw that actually in working concepts.
6-up invuln save.
Yeah.
You can just write 6++ save and I'll know what it means.
All right. Bite attack.
6 damage and maybe like an option to use its breath weapon for anything it's got in its mouth.
Well, how about?
I mean, maybe that's not all one ability, but I think it would be cool if it could bite people, or if it like bit somebody and shook them around, it could breath weapon them while it's still biting them.
How about, because we'd have to have like a grapple state and some other stuff there, I think, for some of that. How about it has a bite that does X amount of damage.
Yeah.
Maybe 6. I don't know.
Yeah.
But then it has a spend 1 resource, deal 1d8 of whatever its damage type
elemental
is
damage. I like
as
that.
a part of its attack.
Okay, yeah, it's bite 1d6, spend 1 resource, gain an extra d8 of elemental damage. Matched to the
and
dragon's
so
type.
we can theme it as it's doing a little bit of breath weapon damage, but
Yeah.
mechanically that will
Different.
flow.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Do you still want it to be 6 bite and then?
Yeah, I think so, because
okay.
it won't do that all the time.
Yeah,
It's
we won't
not
always have
perfectly
resource,
like,
but
yeah, you may want to save up some resource to breath weapon a group of people, but
yeah,
I think 1 damage for a d8 or 1 resource for a d8 extra damage is.
yeah.
Also, dragons should be pretty mean.
Now, this does go against our rule of always do 1 damage type, though. So would we convert, if he spends the resource, it converts all the damage?
Yeah, it extra d8 damage and converts all damage into.
It's a little less truthy,
Yeah.
but
Only 1 damage type.
we
Never break that rule. That is the sacred cow.
It has been, I think, a very good rule for the DM
Yep.
that when factoring resistance and damage,
Yeah, not having to be like, oh, well, you only take half this from the second half of that damage. So really, I mean, you don't have it. You quarter.
it just makes
yeah.
it makes math harder. Anytime and it's a slippery slope.
Yep.
And then you're eventually doing 4 different damage types in
and-
one attack, and
Yeah.
it's awful. Like, well, I've got DR3 and resistance fire.
And so the physical is reduced by 3, but I have the fire damage, and then I take the full amount of the acid damage.
Yeah. Awful.
Oh, wait, sorry. I'm going to use power through the pain. So
Yeah. You're going to need to give me all the number now, and then I'm going to reduce that.
yeah, I'm
number.
going to figure out the max damage, and then I'm going to reduce that final number.
That's exactly what we don't want.
But, yep.
It's too much.
Yeah, no, 1 damage type all the time.
Every time. All right. So it deals 6.
And then I would do another ability that's when this creature makes a bite attack, it may spend 1 resource, add a d8 of damage, and convert all damage into an elemental type appropriate to the dragon.
Okay. That's I wrote it poorly, but we'll change it later.
Yeah.
Do we need anything else? That's 3 different types of attacks, actually.
Yeah.
Strong fly,
Dark vision.
HP. Okay.
Half dragons have it. Real dragons ought to have it.
It would make sense.
Yep. Like Tabaxi's having dark vision, but cats not.
And body and mind.
What do you think? 14 each? Or do you think they ought to be a little more unbalanced?
Maybe 12 body, 14 mind.
Okay, yeah.
And we'll let the body stat. Older dragons will have more of both.
Yeah.
I think of
dragons are creatures of magic more than they are strength, despite how strong they are.
Yeah, that's how I think of them. Yeah, they're big, giant lizards, but they're smarter than they are powerful.
Yeah. They are not brutes. Let's see. Any other dragony abilities?
Can they shapeshift into people?
Baby dragons probably can't.
Okay. So learned skill, not a inherent one.
Yeah, I think you gotta grow into it. That happens at dragon puberty.
Oh, okay.
You may notice some strange changes in your body.
Well, then I feel like for a baby dragon, this probably pretty much sums it up. They're not going to have any kind of regen. They don't really probably have much granularity in like spell casting as a baby. Older dragons, we might end up dropping a couple of other spells on them.
Yeah.
The cool thing about resource too is we can take the exact same spell that exists in a player template.
Yep.
And if we want to take a high level, like whatever the fog spell, and we want to give it to a high level dragon, we can just be like, doesn't cost them resource.
Yeah, this is free. They can just use them fireballs.
Yeah. We can take a low level spell and just be like, yep, that's an attack for them.
Yep. Yeah, it's a dragon magic. A dragon can use any spells in its dragon magic folder for free.
Yeah, potentially. Might be, I don't know at what level we'll introduce it and what age, but yeah.
I mean, do a tier 3 minimum.
Yeah, tier 3 minimum. And yeah, they'll either have like casting at a reduced cost or a free cost or both.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, there might be utility spells like combat, like fog.
Yeah.
Although we talked about spells, something else we'll need to go do.
Yeah.
We're going to we want a dividing line on spells to be that damage doesn't have a save. Things that take away a creature's agency
do have a save.
And that's very specific in that we might have statuses that can be applied that don't remove agency. They just have a negative effect.
Yeah, it's if you have a spell that applies the damp status, so the next electric damage they take is maximized or whatever.
That's just an ability.
Yeah, it's just a thing that happens to you.
Yeah. But if it's going to stun you and remove actions, or it's going to move you, or it's going to knock you prone,
something like that,
all of those things will have saves. Anyway, tangent, but it means that I do like the idea that some of the spells we've already made, if they can have damage as a part of the spell, I like the idea that they might have some type of damage, like fog cloud. We might change to whatever acid cloud. And it might do a D4 of damage for anyone who's in it.
Yeah,
not necessarily what we're gonna do, but it's because I don't like the possibility of players taking actions,
wasting their turn.
Yeah, that don't progress the game.
Yeah, you always get something for using resource.
Yeah, because you could have just automatically hit something.
Yeah, you could have just done whatever damage
you normally do.
Yeah.
So anyway,
literally anybody can do damage twice at tier 2.
Yeah, any player. Well, I guess mystics technically.
Yeah, there's only clerics can do damage twice.
But they're doing damage in another way.
Yeah.
You know, like a druid he's doing his damage, but it's also 2d4 extra damage.
Yeah. That he is responsible for, even though he didn't necessarily do it.
Yeah, it's being spread out. So in the grand scheme of it, he's still contributing almost as much damage, just through other means. Zombie mob.
Oh.
Have that written down as our next one.
They've got engulf like all mobs do.
Mm-hmm. HP?
I think like a lot.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. Like 27, 28.
Oh, you also brought up a thing on things like Fireball.
Yeah.
If they kill a mob, then there's no leftover units. Because our standard
There's
mob
no survivors.
Rule, yeah. Our standard mob rule is when it's reduced to 0 HP, it spits out 1.
Stragglers, that's what I call them.
Stragglers. Yep. We'll have to remember to put that in. But
yep.
So 28 HP on the zombie mob, and then a speed of
20.
I was gonna say, do we want slow zombies or fast?
I think we got shambling zombies.
All right. I like 20 speed, and I also like the slower we make them, the tankier we can make them.
Yeah.
And just basically, it becomes like obvious to the players the way you beat this is by not letting them surround you.
Do not get close to them. They are dangerous.
Yep. But we'll start at 28 HP. And speed 20, and then let's get an attack. Well, I mean, I guess we need there. We had originally imagined engulf would be basically like whatever the unit's individual damage
was,
but just maximized. And so I guess I could look at what we made a zombie before as a baseline.
Yeah. I think it's probably just a natural weapon.
Yeah, we had natural weapon 3.
Natural weapon 3.
So mob rules could say, maximized if it's a damage roll.
Doubled.
Maybe just doubled.
Because 6 feels
low.
Okay. 9 feels like a lot.
9 does feel like a lot. I mean,
it is slow. I feel like 9.
Well, I also feel like one zombie, like, scratching at you.
Yeah.
Zombies also feel that, like, in concept, one zombie's not dangerous. But
a lot of zombies are very dangerous. Yeah. Like a lot of HP, a pretty good amount of damage.
Because, like, I imagine a zombie hitting you is, like, not that you're really getting bit. It's that, you're getting kind of you're getting slammed. But when you get engulfed by a zombie mob, like,
yeah,
you're getting like bit by the zombie, chewed and attacked, and
so I think 9 damage is fine.
Okay.
The other ones may be double, but I like zombies being particularly horrifying. What do you feel about you have to make an athletics check to leave the space after you've been engulfed? Grabby hands or something.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Because I had pictured it as something like being grappled, and this would be pretty much the same thing, but not playing necessarily with grapple rules. Because I don't know that zombies are going to like roll to pin or do any of that
I think
stuff.
just you're trapped in the horde. You're not like held down like you would be if you were grappled, but you can't leave.
Yeah.
But I think athletics check to escape the horde.
So
and then maybe this creature produces 2 resource around instead of 1. And then don't give it any cost abilities.
So I don't know about the 2, but I actually think they should have a cost ability.
Okay.
I think their cost ability should be something like hunger or blood feast or blood in the air or something, and it's a spend a resource and they gain movement speed, like a zombie sprint.
Oh, I think that's cool, but I don't know that it's right for zombies because I don't know that we want the 28 days later
the
zombies.
Other kind of zombies, just the shamblers. Okay,
because I was thinking these are like hordes for necromancers, so they're like dark magic batteries.
Yeah, not a virus.
Yeah.
Oh, you meant in function, have them produce resources.
So they make more resource for the things that are controlling them.
Okay. I like that idea. Is it best for zombie or some other type of undead? Like skeletons
I think zombies, by being really dangerous to be close to, by being pretty tanky, and by being pretty slow, they're really good meat shield batteries for a necromancer.
Okay.
So I think adding that they don't have any resource spend, but they make twice as much resource as a regular. We will have to have some sort of dark wizard monster, but I think we can come up with one of those. But I do like that spend points for extra movement speed thing for something.
I think we should go even higher on HP
30?
because they have 11 for one of them.
Okay.
We had made them intentionally quite tanky.
Okay, so that is what we were going to show. All right, so like 33?
Yeah, I'm thinking let's start with something like that because we imagine that this is roughly five zombies.
Yeah.
Generally. I think mobs will probably normally be like
about 5.
It's like about 5.
Yeah.
And then we'll have bigger groups.
Yeah, between 3 and 6, depending, but about 5.
Yeah. And there'll be one left over when you kill it. So, yeah, I like it being annoyingly tanky.
Yep. Yeah, I think 33, triple it like we did the damage.
Because as long as you keep your distance and they're slower than you, it's not a big deal. But these are going to be awful if there's 3 of them on the map and you have nowhere to go.
Yeah, that's I'm kind of boxed in here, Captain.
Yeah.
Maybe ghouls would be a good thing to do for the increased movement speed. They're like also corpse consumey.
Yeah. Will leaving a zombie mob square still provoke an attack?
Yes.
Okay.
You got to make the athletics check. You still provoke the attack. Unless you have poof.
And use it.
Yep. Very important, that second part of that sentence. You wouldn't think so, but
weirdly enough, if you don't choose to use it, it doesn't work.
Yeah, you could even get seriously injured.
Oh. You might even go down.
Twice.
Twice. We sometimes do inside jokes on this podcast. So one of our players really annoyed that one version of his wizard didn't have defensive abilities, and switched and played a different wizard which had them, and then went
did
down.
Not use said abilities,
and then went down twice while having access
more
to
than he has ever gone down,
which was
the
0
other kind of wizard. A new personal best.
It was pretty good.
33 hit points, 9 damage. What is the mind save of a regular zombie?
I don't even know. We didn't even put it down. We don't have body in mind for a lot of our tier 1s. We never went through and built it.
All right, so maybe it's mindless,
which would
cannot make mind saves or cannot make like mind save checks or whatever, but it also can't fail them.
Oh yeah, so can't make mental scale checks.
Cannot fail mind saves.
Yeah.
There's nothing in there to intimidate or know.
Okay, so then you would roll the body save for a perception check. Because like if you're hiding from the zombie and it's looking for you, not because it's trying to find you, but because it wants to eat you.
Yeah.
That a zombie would be able to be good at trying to find a living creature that it's trying to eat, which typically would probably be a mind check for most creatures.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it can only succeed on tier 0 checks like that.
So it's just, okay. So I'm okay with that. Like, hiding from zombies is a viable tactic.
Yeah, they are very, very stupid.
And they're not particularly
like
good
The Walking Dead when they put on raincoats and covered themselves in dead guts.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think their body check is?
Like 15.
Man, these are scary.
Yeah.
I do like that our mechanics account for this fairly well, in that if we say it's mindless, that means it can't roll mind checks and can't be forced to make mind saves.
Yep.
But it would still automatically succeed on a tier 0 check because it's 2 tiers above.
Yep.
Which means a single zombie can't succeed on any check.
Yep.
Single zombie is real. But if you hide at all from a single zombie, it's gonna it won't find you. You have to be in the obvious.
Yep. If it can't see you, it probably can't find you.
That is interesting. Okay, we will proceed with that. I think that works pretty well, and it leaves it in the DM's hand as to what tier.
Yeah.
You know,
I suspect most of what zombies end up doing is they are following orders of the necromancer that is controlling them, who has some better version of undead on the lookout for people the zombies need to eat.
Yeah. Then that's probably just the way it will work. And if you have zombies that are just out there on their own, hiding from them is easy, which I'm okay with. Because the thing is if you make a check, which means that really if a player hides, they'll always be able to hide from a zombie, even a zombie horde.
Mm-hmm.
Because a contested check, I think always, I don't remember exactly. We have contested check rules.
Yeah.
But the point is you would never be a tier 0.
No.
You, a player, if you hide, perceiving you would never be a tier 0 check. But attempting to find a commoner who lives in a town would be a tier 0 check. Which these would auto succeed and find them.
Yep.
Which is fine.
Yeah, no wonder commoners are scared of zombies.
Yeah. And, you know, players or people with main character syndrome don't have as much to worry about. Okay, so we got the strong grip, engulf, speed of 20, HP 33, body and mind. Anything else?
You got the extra resource gen.
Oh, yeah.
Necrotic battery.
Yeah, we'll have that in there. I don't know if that could be in a group setting of units.
Yeah.
Too strong, and we may take it away and give it to like a larger group of zombies than just the tier 2 version.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to try it and see what that ends up being.
Yeah, I want to try and like build certain classes of enemies together to sort of fight as like a pretty cohesive unit, just as long as you put them all together.
Yeah. I'm picturing like 3 zombie mobs and a zombie boss, and turn 2 has 7 resource.
Yeah.
And I'm like, depends on the abilities we give them as to whether or not that's too much.
Yeah.
Of course, a lot of resources isn't a big deal if that guy only has things to spend on that are 1 and 2 resource power.
Yeah.
In which case, it really doesn't make much of a difference.
Yeah.
But if he has a 6 resource ability or and being able to do it on turn 2, who knows? Anyway, Dryad. We can always come back to these if we want to go to something a little easier.
Yeah, no, I think like 15 HP.
Okay. Speed.
I'd say 40.
Attack.
Probably just a basic D6 regular attack.
Okay.
And then something pretty cool she can spend resource on.
Do we assume it's a weapon attack?
Yeah, I imagine it's like a stick.
Okay. It'll be a sharp stick. I'll just do 1d6
cool,
plus
sharp
1.
Stick.
Yeah.
Well, it beats a sharp stick in the eye.
Yeah. And then what are you thinking for the magical stuff?
Maybe something like what the druid has, the living weapon, where it can engulf or restrain somebody.
Oh, the Nature's Wrath is what it's called.
Yeah.
I have to find it. Figure out where the druid's at. But I do know it's called Nature's Wrath. I'll just copy it and paste it.
Cool.
Should it also cost 3 resources?
I think it costs 2.
Okay.
For them.
I'm also thinking that let's change Nature's Wrath.
Yeah.
To instead of reduce target speed reduced to 0 as a guaranteed. Let's change it to like guaranteed damage.
Yeah.
And then keep the rest of it failed save restrained as the way that it works.
All right, so like a D8 damage.
Something like that. I think it's better to frame everything that way.
Okay, I like that. And we'll still drop its resource cost by 1.
Yeah, I think if it's only 2 resource for the druid as well.
Yeah.
So I'll just rewrite the druids. Now we're saying 1d8, but I feel like this is actually physical damage.
Okay.
So what if it's they take, I'm trying to think if it should be a flat number or if it should be a rolled number. And I feel like it should maybe be, well, I guess it depends. It could be themed a lot of ways that this is like being bludgeoned by like heavy things.
Yeah.
Or is it like, because if it's like, if you know, depending on how you envision it.
Yeah.
But the difference between it being like a 1d6 rolled damage or a flat number and it be like heavy.
Yeah.
The damage has the heavy property or something.
I don't know. Maybe we just do 2d6. That's going to be 7 a lot, about half the time.
Okay. Yeah, I'm fine with just 2d6.
Yeah.
Body and mind stats.
Body 8, mind 12.
Okay. Let's say 10s. Yeah. 8 and 12 is fine. I generally do like disparity.
Just a little bit of tactical.
Well, and remember that they're derived for skill checks too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else on this one?
Nothing that comes to mind.
So keep it pretty simple.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do one more. We've got something that I'm not even familiar with, but we wrote down spray toy. Bar toy.
Oh, Spartoy, they're the dragon teeth dudes.
Oh. Yeah, you told me about these.
Yeah. Sewn men. 18 HP.
Okay. Speed.
30.
And is this an individual unit?
No, this is one
building?
dude.
Yeah, so this is an individual, like one dude. Sorry, I said unit, but individual
creature. Yeah.
Weapon attack. I assume he uses weapons, or is it a?
Yeah, a spear and shield.
Okay. So we'll give it some DR or resistance.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe just resistance physical.
Then doesn't really need a shield then because it's shields are a DR mechanic.
Yeah.
Of course, it could have both. I mean, we are gonna have both available as concepts. So
yeah, I think just physical resistance is easier.
Yep.
And then,
which means it cannot be overcome with a heavy weapon.
Yeah.
Heavy weapons don't overcome physical resistance. You have to have something that overcomes a resistance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
so spear though, is this something like a thrown weapon or just 1d6 plus 1?
I was thinking 1d6 plus 3. Yeah. A sharp two-handed spear.
Okay.
Well,
and it has proficiency in it too. We assume the player rules work the same way as.
Yeah.
So then it'd be 1d6 plus 4 probably because it has weapon proficiency.
Yeah.
Unless we're not going to play with the armor and weapon proficiencies at all. maybe it's not.
I think we just leave that off of monsters entirely.
I think I agree. I think that rule comes into play if you make a class creature.
Yeah, if you gave this thing the soldier class.
Yeah, if you were like, I'm going to build a creature, a humanoid or whatever, I'm going to build a creature with player rules.
Yeah,
then it will use proficiency rules, but we don't necessarily fully define it, but there are creatures that we assume, based on the way we've designed it, have to use a simple weapon.
Yeah.
Like a lot of low-level creatures and like goblins
and stuff, yeah.
So they only get one weapon property.
But I think we just reduce the proficiency thing and just keep that on the player side entirely. So this guy just has a sharp two-handed weapon.
Yeah. He doesn't have to wield a weapon with the simple property. I don't know exactly what.
Yeah.
We may have to think a little
honestly, we don't even need to like put that on there. People can just tell that these weapons are built around.
Yes. I think we don't need it. There might come a time when we're finalizing development that we may want to have this result.
Yeah,
but
I think the only thing we need to do is just explain how we got to these numbers at some point in the book.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, this is what we did. The monsters don't have proficiency bonuses. That's a player class only thing.
Yeah.
Some monsters can only wield simple weapons. That's why they're only a +1 or +2 or whatever.
Yes.
Some monsters are good with their chosen weapon, and they have +2 or 3 or can overcome damage or something.
Yeah.
But I think we just explain that somewhere, and we don't have to worry about fiddling with it.
Okay.
Because I think the system we have now works fine.
Yes. No, I like what we're doing. But I always know there'll be people who play it. I would be someone that would be like, why does it?
I think of this like trying to figure out in 3.5 what a monster's ability bonuses were. If it was an odd number, you subtracted an 11. If it was a positive number, you subtracted 10, or an even number, you subtracted 10. And then you'd figure out how much they had plus to every strength.
Yeah, I
based on the standard array.
But I agree. If we just build numbers and then somewhere we explain it simply.
Yeah, how to derive them.
Well, or even the fact that like some of this we may not, some of this may not ever be there. Like we'll just say we didn't tell you that some creatures have to wield simple weapons and others don't.
Which I imagine there will be a section in the monster handbook where it's like how to make your own monster. Yeah. Monsters that wield weapons. Some monsters are not very good. Like goblins, they have to wield simple weapons, so their weapons only have one property.
Well,
some monsters are trained soldiers, like hobgoblins or Spartoi, and they have weapons with 2 properties.
Yeah. Because when a player is like, if they're like, I'm going to increase the difficulty of this engagement by equipping, why it was we chose that these unit types are equipped this way. And so if those rules aren't with that creature, then it's not really a big deal right now. Yeah. It doesn't matter. But like it would have greater clarity. But I also don't want our creature, wherever our creatures are in their like functional state, like I'm going to use this piece of paper to run my game. I don't want it to be wordy or full of a lot of explanation. I want it to always be simple.
Well, yeah, stat blocks are always going to be about as big as they are here, but we will need a section to tell people how to make their own fucking monsters.
Yeah, for sure.
And that is where the explanation of why the numbers are different will come from.
Cool.
Otherwise, because if you don't want to make your own monsters, all you need to do is just say, all right, this is a D6 plus 3, or this is D6 plus 1. I don't really know why they're different.
Yeah. Yeah. Resource ability.
What kind of resource ability would Greek soldier analog have?
I don't really know a lot about their lore, if these were like particularly like hardy creatures or
they're
could have like a powerful thrust of the spear and it does its damage in a line.
Oh yeah, or skewer.
Yeah.
Maybe they have like a whirlwind attack kind of thing.
They'll just hit everybody around them.
Resource attack everyone adjacent to the Spartoi.
Okay.
Because that's the big, like, basically their whole myth is the what's his name gets half a mouthful of dragon's teeth and gets told to plant them, and they spring up into the shape of these warriors, and then he throws a rock at one of them, and all but 5 of them kill each other. And then those 5 are the ancestors of the 5 great families of Thebes. So just some brawl melee skill, I guess, which I think Whirlwind would feel appropriate.
So just the full weapon damage?
Yep.
All right, body and mind?
Mind 6, body 13.
All righty. Yep, that looks like a terrifying soldier creature.
Yeah.
Yeah, the resistance physical is
pulling a lot of weight.
Yeah, it's a pretty scary guy. Because an effective 36 HP, if all you can swing is physical damage, means it's gonna beat the ever living.
It's gonna take a while
out of most things.
Yeah, and if all you can deal is physical damage, you're probably crowded up around it.
Yeah, that thing's gonna be.
Yeah, we're making some nasty monsters, folks.
Yeah, that one could be real rough. I like it because we're giving more tools to players. We already knew they were a bit overtuned compared to creatures, and we added a consistent resource gain without having really nerfed. We nerfed a couple of the particularly good resource gain classes a little bit, but then added 1 resource per turn automatically to everyone, which is, I think, a net gain. Especially for the barbarian, it feels like a loss because I think he's going to get 2 on. I don't remember if we changed it.
No, we didn't change his.
We didn't change it.
Honestly, I don't know we changed any of them.
We may have not changed any of them.
I don't think we changed any of them. I think we talked about it and decided that the only 2 we were concerned about, barbarian and wizard, weren't going to be that big a deal.
Yeah, we're just going to leave it for now.
Yeah.
But even if we did change barbarian,
I think some of them we changed to only an action.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. Yeah, I don't know.
We changed sorcerers from every time he casts a cantrip to whenever he uses his action to cast a cantrip.
Yeah, it had originally been quick action.
Yeah.
It was originally when he used his quick action, we changed it to action.
And then maybe we did something with Paladin, but I don't remember. Or Holy Knight.
I think his was always
basic
when
attack.
He used his action to make a basic attack.
Okay.
It was always limited to 1, so that he wouldn't be able to gain 2.
Yeah, because he has his downed ally juice.
He has the downed ally juice. And plus, I really want to limit the number of creatures that, if they're going about the course of play in the normal way that they could, that they would outpace the wizard.
Yes.
Who's having to use an action. But regardless, even if we had reduced the barbarians by 1, getting 1 for free per turn is still better, because that means if you're fighting tanky creatures,
you've still got some power through the pain or cleave
or whatever. Through the pain or a cleave or whatever.
It makes the math work out a lot better for everybody.
Yeah, it gives you more consistent generation. But
mostly what we did is we didn't nerf the resource gens. We went and lowered the resource cost of people who didn't have good resource gens.
Yeah. Yeah, and we'll have more fiddling to do with resource because we just haven't played enough.
Yeah.
To know.
But making these monsters is good for coming up with abilities that they will have.
Yeah.
It's coming up with 14 of those that were class themed is really hard, but it's a lot easier to make up some bullshit for some random ass monster.
Oh, yeah. And having made all 14 classes kind of means we already know where
broadly what the power level of these abilities should be.
Yeah.
How broad in scope an ability should be for how much it costs.
Yeah. I like it. All right. Well, that is all for this one. We might pick back up with monsters. Who knows? We might be working on something else.
Yeah, we may be done with monsters by the time we get back. But
all righty. Catch you all next time.
Catch you on the flip side.